Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Just a ton of things going on this morning, as with every morning. But, of course, we're in Hawaii to dissect. Something great, though. Residents of Maui right now can take solace in the fact that no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, it could never be as bad as Joe Biden's kitchen fire. It's not possible. It's not possible.
That guy, man.
Oh, my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
He's getting some well-deserved criticism for that. So
Yes.
It wasn't just us. I'm so
Good.
relieved
left and right
that others have noticed, and including, some on the left.
I could not believe that he went into that story, and then he went into the accident story.
Yep.
I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Always all about him.
Yeah, he's incapable of sympathizing with people's pain without talking about himself.
And once again, at the end of it, he doesn't know where to go.
Yeah. Completely lost.
That's unbelievable.
Completely lost.
But it's a shame that most of the blowback on Joe Biden has been after his visit as opposed to his long delay going to his visit. Although there was a fair amount of that. But when you compare it to the low threshold for a Republican, in other words, George Bush saying, doing a heck of a job, Brownie, or doing a flyover of New Orleans, like that was criminal.
Yep.
Right? And the way that Republicans are treated whenever there's a disaster, Ted Cruz leaving town during the ice storm,
when he should have been getting the electric grid, he should have been out there just spinning the the windmills, making them go. What do you think your job is? U.S. Senator?
Ted.
Come on, Ted.
Get your butt down to the plant.
Power plant.
But I think,
and power that thing back up.
I think the fact that a Democrat president is getting this kind of treatment shows you just how egregiously bad his performance has been for the last 2.5 weeks over Maui.
Yeah.
And I mean, the memes have been brutal, too.
Well, he's been on vacation. I mean, you can't expect him to.
He's been on a
have
couple of
everything-
vacations.
Everything busy. He's on vacation.
Back-to-back vacations.
Right. He's been on 2 vacations since Maui.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. As soon as he said no comment, he got on a bicycle.
Vacation.
He went on a bike. Yeah. It's like, see ya. I mean, he sucks.
Well, he's just the president, though. What does the president have to do during a crisis? There's nothing really.
I will say, him going there, I mean, when you see the 27-car motorcade, cruising, locking down the streets, it does.
He shouldn't be there, really.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're there symbolically to show that you care and help is on the way. But it's really more of a hindrance than anything else.
Yeah.
Especially in Maui.
Yeah.
Where there's limited access. It's not like they got super freeways going through the island.
He comes in with his 27 car.
It's incredible that they're calling him a traitor. And I mean, remember, this is a 2-to-1 state for Democrats in presidential elections. And as I reminded residents of Hawaii yesterday on Twitter, that it is an open primary in Hawaii. So everyone do their part and vote against Joe Biden, whether you're left or right. But the memes have been brutal. Can we do the side-by-side one where he did his kneel there for George Floyd? Criminal dies, he kneels. 115 dead, 1,000 missing, he falls asleep. Now, if you think that's brutal, how about...
He was out, too, man.
How about... You started the show by talking about his kitchen fire. Well, here's another meme. 9/11, the towers in the background. He says, my plane once got delayed for almost 2 hours.
That's just not funny.
Oh, man. Except it is.
Nice job.
It is.
And that has been the tone of social media.
Oof. Except for the fact that it will forever be too soon on 9/11.
I know.
That's something you just don't do.
But,
you don't joke about that.
I mean, we didn't laugh at that
but
at all.
no.
We were laughing at Joe, I believe.
Yes, that's true.
And that's what he would do.
That is true.
If he were talking about 9/11, he would talk about his plane being delayed.
I remember being delayed at the airport.
And we were trying to bring our cat on the trip with us.
Right.
And so I had to hold my cat for 2 extra hours.
We were still sad that Bo was coming back from the burn pits sick.
Right. Except he wasn't there yet. But you won't look into that because you're the mainstream press, so don't worry about that. By the way, Seth Dillon and Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee will join us at the bottom of hour 2.
I can't wait.
This morning. That should be fun. The Babylon Bee has a new book out. They have a new book out. It's called The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender.
Nice.
Really funny.
I bet that's fantastic. Yeah. They just do good work there.
Yes, they do.
I really like the Babylon Bee. They're awesome. And they've got that actual news site, too, that is good, where you'll see news that you can't get anywhere else called Not the Bee. So check that out as well. So the big debate is tonight. Won't that be fun? Won't that, we got that going for us.
We do.
I'm very, very excited about it. I mean, at first I was excited about football season starting up.
No.
But then I heard the debate is this week, and I'm like, oh, man, that so far exceeds the football season. And especially without Donald Trump. Come on.
I know. And without Keith's boy from Miami.
Oh, Rick Suarez. Francis Suarez.
Yeah. And I would say this. I think there's a chance that Keith does not receive his money.
Francis?
I think there's a good chance.
He didn't qualify for the debate, so I think there's a good chance you're not seeing a dime, my friend.
Francis Suarez, so help me. If I don't get my $20 gift card.
Election fraud.
Fraud. I will take you to federal court. I don't know what the charge is, but I'll figure something out.
I would think there's a penalty for that.
That would be fun to do.
Yeah. Huh. And
I don't want a reimbursement either.
You do have proof, right?
That
they took the dollar out of your account.
Yep, they took the dollar out of my account. I don't want a credit. I want my $20, bro.
Right.
Let's go.
So the debate is at 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Oh, I love those late ones.
And then Tucker Carlson sits down with Donald Trump. Same time, of course, on Twitter.
That's awesome.
X, whatever you want to call it.
I have a feeling it went well for Trump since he's promoting it.
Oh,
right.
Must have.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Tucker has in the past explained that he doesn't like him. I don't know how many people remember that or are aware of that.
Or a text to somebody, right?
But when you're sitting across from a guy, though, no matter who it is,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. But I mean, he needs to go through the process. People always say, well, there's a precedent, you already know. And he's said that. And that's, yes, we know many of the things we need to know about you. We don't know everything because times have changed over the last 2.5 years. There's other issues, and we need your take on it. What would you do about these things? But obviously, we're not going to get it. So what are you going to do? No sense crying over spilled milk, I guess. Water under the bridge, I guess.
And then he turns himself in tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. A lot of cashless bail people out there, but Trump's going to pay $200,000 for bail. I would almost consider him not paying the bail and just make him arrest him and lock down just lock down the jail. Secret Service just locks down the jail.
Are they going to do the mugshot or not?
They
seen
said
conflicting things.
I don't know. That police chief at the very beginning said there was going to be a mugshot, and the whole weigh-in. I mean, I think you can bet on how much he's going to weigh.
Oh wow!
In Vegas now, the over/under I think is like 273 or something like that. So
he's how tall is he? 6'3" or something? 6'4"?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I know Barron is like 8 feet tall now. So I just saw a picture of him the other day. I mean, I know we're talking about Donald, but Barron is like 8 feet tall now, man. It's amazing.
There was a woman who threatened both their lives. Did you see that recently? She just got arrested because she said,
she said she was
going to shoot them both straight in the face.
Yeah.
Donald and Barron. Who threatens a candidate's children?
Yeah.
So just despicable.
And
that's gotten
from
almost
Chicago.
Is a person in Illinois.
Yeah.
Tracy Marie Fiorenza, accused of sending a threat against the Trumps to the headmaster of a Palm Beach school on May 21st. I think it's the school that Barron attends. She said, "I will state that I will shoot Donald Trump Sr. and Barron Trump straight in the face at any opportunity that I get." That's really bad.
I'm sure the FBI's knocked down her door.
I'm going to slam a bullet in Barron Trump's head with his father in self-defense. Wow. All in caps. So she screamed it. She screamed it. That makes it even worse.
Sure does.
More serious an offense. Anyway, so she was arrested Monday, scheduled to be transferred to Florida from Illinois, and she's going to face charges for it.
Good.
There's no indication about why or why you sent it to the school or any of that. I mean, what is your deal? Very strange.
Because they're Trumps.
Right. I guess so. I guess that's reason enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Monday night, Larry Elder made a video on his way to Milwaukee. This is interesting, talking no doubt about the fact he's not going to be included in tonight's debate. And it went a little something like
Yes, en route to Milwaukee, I was just informed by the RNC that I'm not qualified for the debate. Why? Even though I exceeded the 40,000 individual donations required, even though I signed the pledge to support the eventual nominee, even though I submitted 3 polls where I was at least at 1%, I was informed that one of the polls is not eligible. It's the Rasmussen poll, even though it's the most accurate poll in predicting that Donald Trump would win in 2016. They say it is affiliated with Donald Trump and therefore it is not eligible. And I said to Ronna McDaniel, the chairwoman of the RNC, it's not affiliated with me. She said any poll affiliated with any candidate is not eligible. And no one told me that until just now. So we're filing an emergency injunction to get me up there. This is absolutely BS. One of the candidates, by the way, offered a $20 gift certificate for a $1 donation.
Right.
That apparently is okay.
Actually.
Another one offered a free, air quotes, country western concert for a $1 donation. That apparently is okay. Another one offered a commission to prospective donors to get other prospective donors. That apparently is okay. But I did it the old-fashioned way, asking people to support me by going to LarryElder.com, and that is not okay. And now all of a sudden, I'm not eligible. It is designed, in my opinion, to make sure that Ron DeSantis is the nominee, anybody other than Trump. This is BS. I will see you in Milwaukee. Out.
Nice, Larry.
Or maybe it's racism, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping the man down.
Keeping the man down. Oh, wait, no, the man keeps the man down.
The man down.
Anyway, he should absolutely be there. If Bergamentum is going to be there.
And Asa Hutchinson.
Asa Hutchinson. So is that Perry guy? Is he going to be there? Is he the one who...
No, he didn't qualify.
He didn't qualify? Oh, okay.
Nope.
It's too bad. We don't get to see his winning smile.
He won't be there, and neither will, Suarez won't be there.
Right.
And Hurd, Will Hurd, who we've all been counting on to swoop in and save us. How many times have we said it? Will Hurd. When will Will Hurd listen to the will of the people and swoop in and save us?
Time out.
Hurd. Will,
they're keeping him down too.
Will Hurd save us?
No. Will of the people, I think, is a great campaign slogan.
Will of the people,
You stumbled into that.
Yeah.
Will of the people.
Vote
for me.
He might make the next debate with that.
He might.
So are the qualifications for the next debate going to be different? In other words...
I don't know.
Are the different?
Oh, they were so easy. 1% in a few polls and 40,000 donors. Oh, that's not a huge threshold to overcome. And but they obviously made it ridiculous for Larry Elder.
Yeah.
So sorry, we don't like that poll. Wait, you associated with Donald Trump? What does that mean, even? What does it mean?
I don't know.
Does he own the Rasmussen poll? No, he does not. Has it been, I don't know, good for him in the past? Yeah, probably better than most polls. That doesn't mean it's his. That doesn't mean you can link him to it. That just means he does well in their poll.
Right.
Sounds like racism.
Yeah, it does. It's bad. It's just bad. All right. So, back to Hawaii. Somebody put this together. Ukraine aid versus American aid. Check this out.
It's also going to help schools and hospitals open. It's going to allow pensions and social support to be paid to the Ukrainian people so they have something in their pocket.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine just over 2 months ago, we have sent more than $3 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Last week, I sent Congress, to be excused the point of personal privilege, talking like an old senator, but sent a supplemental budget, a fancy way of saying we need more money. As I said from the beginning, this fight is not going to be cheap. And I'm once more urging Congress to quickly pass this supplemental funding bill, over $300 billion to help the Ukrainians. FEMA has approved 50,000 meals, 75,000 liters of water, 500 beds, 10,000 blankets, and as well as other shelter supplies for survivors displaced from their homes. FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household for folks who've been displaced.
Oh, wow.
But they're sending blankets to Hawaii.
Wow. Yeah, because you know how cold it gets this time of year in Hawaii.
What? I mean, there's no words left for this guy. There's just no words left for this guy.
I know.
He sucks in every way imaginable.
But they all have blankets.
Blankets and
I mean, not all of them, but some of them will have some warmth tonight. Thank goodness.
Did we give you a water or a blanket? Because you can't have both. Okay, so
no, this is the water line. You wanted a blanket? That's that line. Yeah.
Have you noticed what's been happening to the dollar lately? It's really not good. I mean, there are countries. Was it India I was reading about that paid for oil recently, an oil purchase in their currency, not ours,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, rupees. Yeah. That's not good. The greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years is happening right now. And the BRICS nations are all getting together. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are trying to launch this new international super currency. It's all part of the plan to supplant the U.S. dollar. So how do you protect your IRA or your 401k from all of this fallout? Well, you diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a really good hedge and a safe haven in times of uncertainty like we have right now. So get an info kit, go through it, and see if it's right for you. It'll tell you about the gold IRAs, and then you can decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Go to 989898. You just text the word PAT to 989898. There's a monumental shift going on right now, and you don't want your dollar to be devalued. It just hurts us all. Arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. Text PAT to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson sat down with Colonel Douglas, how do you say his last name? McGuire? Is it McGuire? McGregor?
I thought it was McGregor.
Yeah. McGregor, it is. Okay, Douglas
but then
McGregor.
Again, I thought he was a general and he's a colonel, so.
Well, you're stupid. Wow.
That answers that.
Wow. But shared some thoughts like the money we spend in places like Ukraine.
Yeah.
Here's how that went.
Here's another one. The president announced yesterday on one of these tweets, somebody tweets for him, obviously, that the people that have lost everything in Hawaii, thousands of them, lost everything, are going to receive a one-time payment of $700.
And a blanket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pause it for a second.
A long time.
Yeah. Don't change what this administration is doing for these people.
Yeah, the
colonel.
Yeah, the colonel general is cherry picking facts here.
Again, as always with these MAGA Republicans, it's $700 per family and a blanket.
Yeah, and there was like a meal in there.
So shut up. That's what Tucker should be saying, but he's not.
He just lets the colonel general go on.
And here he is going on.
I haven't been to Hawaii in a long time. I'm not even sure I've ever been there. But I know.
Wait, you
that
don't
$700 isn't going to take care
pause
of
this for a second. Pause this for a second. When I first saw this, I thought the same thing.
I'm pretty sure if you've been there, you'd know it.
But
he's pretty sure.
Look, when you're a colonel general, you don't know all the places you've been.
It's not like,
okay.
Yeah, once I was just I was passing through some states, and I just happened to go.
Oh my gosh, are we in Hawaii?
I forgot all about that time.
Yeah,
we got in the car and we started to drive, and we wound up in Honolulu, and it's like, wow, okay.
Well, we're already here.
Yeah.
We might as well stay for a while.
It's one of those states like you deliberately plan a trip to. You don't just
you save.
I had a
it,
connecting flight in Honolulu.
I don't know if I've ever been there. What?
I mean, he may have as a colonel general or a general colonel, whatever his title is. I mean, there may have been a military time when he was there. He couldn't read.
This kind of feels like topic drift. Like maybe we're getting away from the bigger point.
We are, but it's very difficult to ignore that.
No, it is.
All right, let's see.
In Hawaii in a long time. Okay. I'm not even sure I've ever been there. I know that $700 isn't going to take care of a family for very long.
That's a trip to McDonald's there.
But in the meantime, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars continue to flow into this black hole called Ukraine, which I think is an exercise in fraud, deceit, and criminality, to be blunt.
Wow.
So when's it going to stop? When are we going to take care of Hawaii? Let's go back to Ohio, where we had the derailment and the chemical spill. 4,000 human beings living in this area. The water is still not fit to drink, as I understand it. We wouldn't even invest the money to move those people to a safer area, even if it meant temporary housing or permanent housing, until this thing was cleaned up. What have we done? This is the problem. It is America last on every level. The last people who are consulted, the last people who are benefiting from anything that goes on in Washington are Americans. This cannot go on. It's got to end. And I think it will end. But unfortunately, it's like everything else. We're going to have to be pushed over the cliff into the abyss. I think that's where we're headed.
Wow.
Happy talk.
Really depressing.
I mean, true, though.
Yes.
How do you argue with any of that except for the Hawaiian thing?
Well.
I mean, that's good stuff. He also talked about what we pay illegals.
The average American earns about $31,000 a year. That's it. The average American pays about $16,600 a year. Now, the people in Congress, this doesn't affect them or in the Hill or inside the Beltway. We're talking about the real Americans who live out there scratching out a living. Keep in mind that a person who works all his life and then tries to draw on Social Security can expect a monthly payment of probably $1,400 if they're lucky. Wow. $1,400. We hand every alleged asylum seeker, illegal migrant pouring into the border in Texas or wherever else. We hand them when they get there $2,200. And we put them on that $2,200 diet from there on out per month. Yet somebody who works all his life, retires and draws Social Security gets $1,400. The Afghans who were hanging on to the planes in Kabul trying to come to the United States, when they arrived, they received $2,200 a month. Now, if you can make sense out of this, please try, because I don't think most Americans can make sense out of this at all.
You'd be correct.
Man, $2,200 a month for an illegal that gets here.
Healthcare, cell phone.
Well, I was just going to say, that's just $26,400. Plus the stuff you're talking about, it probably takes them above the average American salary of 31.
Housing, healthcare, and communication. That's a big chunk of everyone's bills every month.
Unsustainable. We are a nation adrift.
Fortunately, there's the exact same number of them, though, today that there were 25 years ago.
Yeah, so you don't have to plan on spending any more.
No, it's been stagnant for a long time.
It's a constant bill. It's the same thing.
Fortunately, we've kept that number at a very pleasant 11 million.
That's good.
For 25 years. That's great.
And fortunally, the cost of living has stayed the same too here in America.
Right. Other than going up a lot, stayed exactly the same.
Did you see this fun? And by the way, he talked about the border there. Did you see that encounters with Chinese are up 800%?
Did see that
at the southern border.
That's not a concern, though.
That's not a concern at all.
I mean,
well, it went from 0 to 8.
No, it went from 229 to 1862.
0 to 8, like I said.
Last fiscal year.
Wow.
But anyway, back to the prices of things. This is a fun fact. So the average new car price in America, you guys want to guess what right now the average new car price?
I know this.
I'm going to say $28,000.
Oh, you're going to say wrong.
You'd be wrong.
48,000.
Yeah.
48,000 for the average new car price under Joe Biden.
48,000?
Yep. That's up 16.8% under Biden. Now, the average price of a new car in the U.S., we just said 48,000. There's only one model under 20,000 right now. So there's only one new car that's being sold under 20,000, but there are 32 models over 100,000.
Well,
that's insanity.
I think that one model, that Mitsubishi that they're talking about,
I think that just went over 20.
They just ended that.
Yeah, I think they did.
So that's not even under 20 anymore.
Wow.
Right. And it's a little crap can. You know,
sorry, Mr. Rich Guy. Okay.
For 20,000 plus, though, you can buy a brand new crap can. Congratulations.
Well, I mean,
it's made of aluminum foil.
Whatever.
It's made of aluminum foil.
And I will say that
Mitsubishi Mirage.
It's a little low on fat guy seating as well, but it is under 20,000.
Wow, jeez. That's bad.
It's
bad.
And going back to the Colonel General's point, America last in everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've said that how long? Oh, really? I mean, America is last.
Biden took office.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things they hated so much about Trump is his America First policy.
I mean, that's why they
was unacceptable to him.
The MAGA, right? I mean, that's what MAGA is.
Right. It offends them. Just the very thought of making America great again offends them. No, we're doing our damnedest to ruin this country and cut it down to size.
Right.
Make it equitable with the rest of the world. We're trying to equal this thing out. Don't make us stop dragging the country down. Who do you think you are? So that's what we're up against.
Yep.
And you prefer to call him Joe Biden, correct? Not Robert L. Peters, his pseudonym, or Robin Ware, or J.R.B. Ware. He's got all these pseudonyms now, and burner phones and fake email addresses and stuff as he runs his little criminal organization through Obama's White House.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Well, the Democrats don't.
No, they
don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't care. Some on the fringes are just beginning to. You know, there's a little bit of concern that, hey, oh, wow, no comment on Hawaii? How is that possible? That you can't at least extend sympathy and hope to them.
He's incapable.
He's incapable of it. Yeah. I think, you know, there are certain centers of his brain that just don't work.
Well,
and
there's no
sympathy. There's no empathy. He can't speak. He can barely walk. You know, he's got some issues right now. He falls asleep during, people say, well, he's 80 years old. Yeah, that's why he shouldn't be in office.
Yeah.
Okay? If you can't stay awake during a memorial for who knows how many people in Maui who have died, if you can't stay awake for that, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be in office.
No, you should not.
Time to go.
No, you should not.
There's a lot of other things you could be doing.
If you're busy looking at your watch while flag-draped coffins are coming in from Afghanistan, you shouldn't be president.
Again, I say, time to go.
Wow. I mean, really amazing. So many conspiracies, too, because, as we've said many times, when things don't add up and they don't tell us why they're not adding up or help us add them up, then people come up with their own reasons for things.
Yeah, and I don't think we have time for this video.
No, we're not going to do the video yet. Okay. But there's a couple of videos from that have emerged about this situation.
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
The color blue.
I don't know if I've ever been.
We need to address the color blue.
Yeah, the blue homes or whatever that are still standing. And then there was one with a red roof that also is standing. And you see it from I don't know, an aerial shot. And there's total devastation around it. And then this just beautiful, untouched home with a red roof. How'd that happen?
And Jeffy, you have or have not been to Hawaii?
Honestly, I can't remember if I've ever been to Hawaii or not.
Okay, that's weird.
Well, it's kind of forgettable.
I feel like
because it's it's a 4,000-mile trip, and you got to cross an ocean to get there. And once you're there, it looks a lot different than Texas.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you're saying I probably would remember it.
It's easy to misplace a trip to Hawaii.
Good.
Yeah.
That was our takeaway from the Colonel General.
Yeah, that is.
We could ruin anything. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And you're my girl.
Definitely not that. I don't know why you're saying.
It's nothing like that. I don't know why that just popped into my head. It's weird.
It's weird.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's time to chew the fat with Jeffy. As soon as we get there it is.
Okay. Now, last time we got hollered at for talking over this, right?
Yeah, we did. So we should probably be quiet.
We should?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just remind people to be sure to subscribe to Chewing the Fat, my daily podcast.
That's not being quiet, though.
Available wherever you get your podcast.
That's weird how you kept talking.
What's that?
It's weird how you kept talking over
I'm
this.
just reminding people to.
You're right, I know, but
subscribe to them.
But you're still talking over the intro.
Wait, I think his microphone got
turned off. Nice job, Chris.
I'm just reminding people.
Chris taking matters into his own hands. But I mean, in Jeffy's defense, the song is getting longer.
Yeah. Well, it started out, 15 seconds. Now it's about 14 minutes. So.
See, now you're talking. You're still talking.
Okay. So loud.
But I mean, you really want to appreciate the kids' talent.
You do.
Right?
You do want to appreciate it.
That's the word.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's become longer, because we're in appreciation of the kids' talent. Congratulations seems to be the theme of today's Chewing the Fat. First, congratulations to the Women's World Cup champions from Spain. They defeated England 1-0.
So that's over. We're done with that
first championship. Yes. Now the Royal Spanish Football Soccer Federation president, Luis Rubiales, is in trouble. At a post-game medal celebration, he hugged and kissed one of the stars, Jenny Hermoso, just a little too much.
Oh, no.
And right on the lips.
They're looking right.
I've heard.
Yeah, right there. It was right in the right-hand corner.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that. He grabs her head,
a big hug.
kisses her.
Yeah.
Wait, who is
just
that
run
again?
that again. That's Luis Rubiales. He's the president of the Soccer Federation, or the Football Federation.
Oh, boy. Oh, my.
He was just excited.
She didn't appreciate it.
Well, no, she did not. But he did bend the knee, though, with an apology video. But even the prime minister has said that wasn't sufficient. Spain's acting second deputy minister, Yolanda Diaz, said, no, she was harassed and assaulted, and she wants Rubiales to resign.
Oh, wow.
Worse yet is an allegation that a statement attributed to the player, Hermoso, which said his behavior with everyone has been excellent, and it was a natural gesture of affection and gratitude.
Oh, that's not what she said.
That was written by the Federation, not approved by her.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, because she was pissed.
So and she's not really commented on it, the whole thing. So he hasn't been.
No, she said she didn't like it.
Well,
she said she didn't like it. Yeah.
If you believe.
Wait. Is Jeffy gonna take the side of an assaulter?
I guess so.
No, he's not been fired yet, though. But hey, congratulations on the victory.
Congratulations
on the victory.
Yeah.
Then, also as expected, Vladko Antonovsky is now the former head coach of the U.S. women's national soccer team. It was a resignation, but he really got the boot, which was not a surprise to anyone, as they, were out of the World Cup early. And now the interim replacement, Twyla Kilgore, former assistant and first American-born woman to earn a pro coaching license for soccer. So, congratulations. That wraps up our women's world soccer update
for 4 years.
today.
For 4 years, we can take 4 years off now.
You take some time off.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Also, congratulations to Rory Elric, 6 years old, won first place in the kids 5 to 8 year old mullet championships.
Look at that.
Rory's mullet named Cheddar Whiz. Second place. Because you have to have a name for your mullet.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Second place is Ezekiel Arita from Hawaii. His mullet name, Mr. Aloha Mullet. And the third place, another Pennsylvania. Both Rory and this kid, Camden Cunningham from Pennsylvania. His mullet name, the Commander. He's in third place for the mullet.
I'm a little disappointed that the South didn't represent the top three. Come on now.
I know.
I mean, that kid on the left.
These are the kids, though.
Yeah, but the kid on the left looks like a young Billy Ray Cyrus, man.
So he wanted $5,000 in prize money. He said he's buying his sister an alpaca. He's going to go to Wing Night again. And he's going to save a little money for Wounded Warriors, which is a charity for veterans that proceeds of the competition go toward. So the Mullet Championships began with an adult competition held in Michigan, in Fenton, Michigan. By the way, if it's right here between Detroit and Saginaw, if you want.
Right there.
Exactly.
Just right there.
Fenton, Michigan, right there. It's now nationwide, and it includes separate categories for kids, teens, and the open division for men and women ages 19 and up. So good luck. It's never too late to do a little mulleting. Never too late for that. Rich man north of Richmond, Oliver Anthony, the first artist to debut a top Billboard Hot 100 without charting any prior song. The hit Rich Man North of Richmond debuts at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 songs. Among the other chart achievements for the singer-songwriter, he's the first artist ever to launch atop the list with no prior chart history in any form. Okay, so he's Rich Man North of Richmond, the 1,153rd song to top the Hot 100 over the chart's 65 career, and the 69th to debut number 1. He officially released August 11th, drew 17.5 million streams, sold 147,000 downloads. In the tracking week ending August 17th, but not being promoted on radio, it still tallied like 553,000 radio airplay audience impressions. The bulk of that was on country stations. It's been reported that he's making $40,000 a day from this. I don't know if that's from just that song or from all his songs. Now, I'm not sure. Look, it's being reported, so it has to be true.
Yeah, right.
It has to be true.
Right.
I don't know how he's going to get by on $40,000 a day. But, good luck.
He's got to scrimp. You got to scrimp a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Tighten the belt. Got to be some cutbacks.
You have to.
So he's number 1 on the Hot 100 and the country chart at the same time. I think the first artist to ever debut number 1 both places.
Incredible.
Oh, that's possible. I didn't say that
pretty
in the story.
Crazy.
It might be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he just released another new song.
Yesterday,
So, the guy's on fire.
I tweeted about it. I'm told.
You're told? What do you mean? You just don't remember?
I'm telling you that I tweeted.
You seemed a little unsure. Hey, Pat, have you ever been to Hawaii?
Oh, let's see. It's been a while if I've ever been there. I can't remember.
You just can't recall.
Yeah.
Today is the day, also. At least that's what we're to believe. The Chandrayaan-3 moonlander, aiming to bring the Indian Space Research Organization safely to the surface of the moon for the first time for India. They originally said it could be delayed due to other factors. Not sure if it gets cloudy on the moon or not, but touchdown is expected this morning. So there's only 3 other countries that have accomplished such a feat: the U.S., former Soviet Union, and China. It did capture a clear shot, or one of the clearest shots, of the Apollo landing site on the moon as it was orbiting the moon, going over. Pretty cool. And I see that,
Did it fly over the soundstage? What happened?
Yes, it did.
What are they doing flying over L.A.?
Yes, it did. They just screenshotted the soundstage and then posted it.
I thought I saw another picture of the Indian picture of the moon landing site, which was, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, ta-da! That's pretty impressive right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our lunar lander right there?
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So wouldn't India have to be in on the lie as well? If we didn't
yes.
do that?
Yep. Well,
Yes,
they
they
all do.
would.
If you have a space agency, you're in on the lie.
Yes.
I see.
That's clear.
You'd have to be.
Yeah.
Look at though. The shadow is all wrong on that. It's all wrong. The shadow shouldn't be stretched out the way it is.
No, it should.
Oh, our boy Bart Sabro was on with Glenn last week.
Yeah.
And that,
How'd that go?
Oof.
Do we know?
Glenn did not enjoy himself.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh, really?
Oh, you got to go
Really?
back and listen to it. It was on Friday's show.
Oh, really?
He was not a fan.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So it got nasty, did it?
I wouldn't say it got nasty. It's just like Bart mentioned his website, Every Other Breath,
Ah, jeez.
and that set the tone.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Bart's pretty good at that, actually,
Yeah.
setting the tone that way. Hey, we showed, and remember, speaking of space, we'll just stay there. We showed you this takeoff. Remember the Russian space agency, Roscosmos, when it launched its first mission to the moon, I don't know, 10 or 11 days ago, whatever. And take a good look at this rocket, the Soyuz 2 frigate rocket.
All right, take a good look at
From
it.
the Vosny Commodrome some 10 or 11 days ago.
Why should we take a good look at it?
Because it entered orbit around the Earth, and then it entered the lunar orbit.
Very cool. All right.
All right, and it was to land on the south pole of the moon.
All right, Russia.
Yeah, I didn't.
It even took a picture of the moon on the 17th of August. It took a picture. You can get rid of this and show the picture that it took from the dark side of the moon.
Okay.
It sent the Zeeman crater. Located on the far side of the moon. It sent this picture. No, that was the first one. Yeah, that wasn't from the India one. That was from
that's what I was
from the
afraid
Russian
of.
one.
Okay.
Right. Okay. That's the Zeeman crater located on the dark side of the moon.
Cool.
But then a couple days later,
What happened?
it was trying to land on the moon, and according to Roscosmos, it
What's wrong?
ceased to exist.
That's a quote.
You can quote them on
That's
that.
the quote.
It ceased to exist. It was unpredictable orbit. It ceased to exist, and the result of a collision with the surface of the moon.
So now that makes sense. That's why you wanted us to take a real good look at that rocket. It's the last time you're going to
Take
see
a good look, because it does not exist. It ceased to exist. Now, and also Japan is slated to launch a moon lander Friday. That they claim is going to land on the moon sometime in the next 6 months. I don't know.
It must be orbiting the Earth for a long time or something, because that's not a 6-month trip.
No, it is not.
Unless you're going like 10 miles an hour.
It seems like that's an awful long time.
It does.
It does seem like that's an awful long time.
Yeah.
Apparently,
if you're taking a cab to the moon, it might take 6 months.
Right. Right.
But a rocket should get there sooner than that.
You think?
Yeah.
So I guess, we're racing to get to the dark side of the moon because there's supposed to be ice on it. And so, they want to use that to support human settlements. That's what they can use it to land on the moon and use that. Are we going to ship it back to Earth? I don't know. Can we get enough of it to ship back to Earth? I don't know that we can have a hose coming from the Earth to the dark side of the moon. That seemed to be. I don't think that's going to work.
No, I think it would get
quite
tangled
a long
along the
hose.
way.
Yeah, something would run into it, cut it. You'd have to be tough. It'd only be what, 200,000 miles
ish.
Plus, I'd like to remind, just to remind the other countries, the moon is ours.
Yeah, we own it.
You can see we've already you saw us land. We've already staked our claim.
Yep.
It's ours.
Yep.
Okay, you can go ahead and do your little.
You can look at it.
You can
if
do
you
your
want,
little space
but
thing.
It belongs to us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
actually
ours.
own 2 plots on it, as I've discussed on previous shows. I have the deeds
Okay.
somewhere in an attic.
Just saying. It's,
Nice.
You can visit if you'd like.
is there ice on your property?
I've told
That'd
y'all.
be cool.
I've told y'all the story. You buy that.
That'd be great if
silly
there was
little,
ice on the property.
Little gag gift.
Yeah.
And they accidentally sent me 2, and so I called them. I was like, "Hey, you sent me 2. You want me to send one back?" They're like, "Nah, you can keep it." So wait,
Well, that was nice of them.
but wait, that makes it sound like it's not real.
And like it's not a valuable thing to have.
What do you mean?
Huh, weird.
That's awesome. So a couple weeks ago, again, we talked about how Apple was going to, or at least thinking about moving the end call button on its latest versions of the iOS 17, where the
y'all
end
don't like
call
that,
button
do ya?
would be, in the center of the screen and to the lower right-hand corner.
I don't like that.
Take that. Yeah. Well, they've reversed that decision.
Oh, good.
They've said, yeah, you know what? We're not going to do that. People were a little wound up
Yeah,
about it.
that's what I told them. Don't do this.
Yeah.
That's where
okay?
that's
it's a big mistake.
Chin fat hits that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're obviously listening. So you're welcome, Apple.
Speaking of
set
Apple,
you straight on that.
The battery gate is coming to fruition. You may get a check for like $65 from
on
Apple.
Battery Gate?
Yeah, because they were accused of purposely slowing down older iPhones with aging batteries to push consumers to buy more phones, and they faced millions in legal fees. And customers filed complaints. So now those customers, we'll send them a check for $65.
I feel like Android is doing that right now.
I mean, what do you get for $65? An Apple phone case? I mean, thanks, appreciate it.
Probably not even that.
But it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
You were saying?
I feel like Android is doing something similar.
Absolutely.
Because been having some struggles lately. And it always seem to happen after an update.
I just got the new Samsung 23, and all the old chargers don't work. And
I have a 22.
The old phone, the charge did not last long at all. And this phone, the new one, the charge lasts for a long time.
It's almost like they want people like me who own 22s to become people like you and buy 23s.
Well, step up.
It's almost like that.
Come to the party.
But it's not that. They don't want you to buy another product from them. They realize you already have one and it would cost too much. So they want you to be happy with the one you've already got. So I'm sure that's not the case.
Thank you. Hello, customer service. Is that you? You have until this Friday, the 25th of August, 2023, at 11:59 p.m. Pacific, to sign up to get your slice of the $725 million Meta payout. Get your piece of the pie. The class action settlement for Cambridge Analytica, where they allegedly shared its users' data with third parties. So if you were a Facebook user between 2007 and December 2022, just go to facebookuserprivacysettlement.com, then submit your claim and get your cut of the $725 million. So everybody will probably get, $2. Be great.
So how does that work? Like, let's say one person signs up for that.
Then you get
they get the kitty.
They get the kitty. The first story I read about that was that it just depended on how many people were going to sign up for the class action, and I don't know how much is going to go to the attorneys or what, because the $725 million. I'm sure the attorneys get $350 million. It's like the lotto,
right?
And then now the people are splitting the $300 million. But, you end up with, I think that I was in one class action lawsuit that I didn't realize I was in, and I got like $1. And I was like, well,
I think the most I've ever gotten from one of those is like a $16 payout or something.
That's nice, though. Yeah. I mean, pretty good.
Because I think nobody else signed up for it.
It sounds like so good. $725 million for Facebook. Come on now.
Well, it's nothing if 300 million people apply for it. Then
I know, but it just seems like it should be more than $725 million.
Yeah.
Facebook made a lot more than $725 million selling those accounts to third parties.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Zuck bought his place in Hawaii. He actually does remember going to Hawaii,
which, by the way,
he has
did
property
not burn
there.
down.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
that did not burn down.
The plot thickens.
That's weird. Neither did Bill Gates' house burn down.
How about
I'm
Oprah?
Sure.
The Oprahs?
Oprahs, we're going to get into that. We'll get into that. Coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, also Threads, and what's the other thing? Oh, Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram,
YouTube,
Threads,
all that kind of stuff.
YouTube.com/Pat Gray. You can subscribe there. We would love it if you do that. That'd be fantastic. Got some tweets here. Proud Caucasoid tweets, Nero played the fiddle when Rome was burning, and Joe Biden rubbed lotion on his hairy legs while Maui burned.
Okay.
That's gross.
Yeah. But he has hairy legs.
I know.
I don't know if you've ever heard.
The kids used to rub his hairy legs.
No. Yeah,
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Weird.
So it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Who is this guy?
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
He's not even a real person. It's truly
the stories he tells
disturbing.
So incredibly weird. Why would you ever tell that story?
Racist.
Weird, racist, borderline. I mean, way over the border of inappropriate, but borderline pedophilia and creepy. And yet he tells them anyway. He doesn't care.
Just having fun with the kids.
No,
just having fun.
No, please don't.
Just having fun with the kids.
That's all. That's a good point.
What do you mean?
All right, from Sons of Thunder 43, let's go. Brandon must mean aloha. A lot of Hawaiians were saying hello.
They sure were.
Jeffy for president tweets, these days Americans are only first when it comes to paying taxes. Exactly. So we were talking about this video that's making the rounds about blue roofs in Maui.
Right.
And
so the theory,
celebrities' homes, and
so I mean, this video kind of says the whole gamut here. Okay, we just let it play. Starts off with this headline: "Why the heck are celebs all painting their Maui properties the same weird shade of blue?" And then it lists Oprah and Obama and Clinton, Tom Hanks.
Is this true? Because I don't know this to be true.
Okay, so this just is this video playing right now? Because it's weird how they leave this. Okay, they leave this still shot up for a while. And so the article there, it's got the authors of the article. It's dated October, whatever day, 16th, October 6th, 18th, whatever it is, 2022.
Okay.
So then, what's up with the color blue? See all the damage? And the blue stuff, not burned. Look at that. Umbrellas.
Okay.
That's pretty fascinating, right? So anyhow.
And there's...
Okay, so now this guy demonstrates how lasers cut everything except for the blue stuff. See this? So this is what's going around.
Wow.
And so the theory is that a bunch of celebrities...
They were forewarned?
Well, yeah, exactly. That, hey, you'll want to...
Paint your roof
blue
so that your house doesn't burn down.
So what was the trash can there on the side of the road? Just an experiment?
So I don't know. Maybe there's something to lasers and blue. I don't have a laser, so I can't experiment at home. But I did look for that article. I typed in the headline verbatim. I typed in the authors' names, and here's what it led me to. I found a story by those two authors on that date. They wrote an article. But it was about like interior design or something like that. That headline I could not find anywhere. Definitely not with those authors. Then I also found another article about Oprah Winfrey's house on Maui, and it was written earlier this year. So it was a 2023 story, and the roof in that story was gray.
Yeah.
It wasn't blue. Now, again, I'm not saying that the lasers didn't cause the fire. I'm not saying that blue can't be penetrated by lasers. I'm just saying that this story I can't find with this headline and those authors. Again, what it feels like to me is that somebody took that article and left the authors, left the date, and then plugged in their own headline.
CGI.
So, again, maybe there's something to this. We saw videos earlier this week that showed some strange happenings as the fires started. And maybe lasers don't cut blue, but please find me the evidence that all of these celebrities'
and the church that didn't burn, was that blue?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
That was protected by God. I got it.
Yeah.
Jeffy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So I would like to see if these celebrities' houses that were spared
were blue.
Were they blue? I would like to find out why the water was shut off. More than anything. Why the kids were sent home.
Yeah, and the siren's not going off.
Siren's not going off.
I guess we did find out why.
Police blocking the road.
Thought people would run to the fires.
Yeah, right. Because that's what people do when they hear sirens.
Las Vegas police.
I mentioned that when our tornado siren goes off, I run directly for the tornado.
You don't look at the clock first and go,
Nope.
It's 1 o'clock Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month.
As soon as that siren goes off, I'm heading. Where's that tornado? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it.
I am guilty of that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I will say on Wednesday, September 6th at 1 o'clock Central, we know what Pat will be doing. He'll be running for cover.
Closest alarm. Did you also see where the police chief? I found this. I don't know why it struck me weird, but he's also the coroner.
I did not see that.
Really?
He said that in a press release. That now whether that was true or not, I don't know. I find that strange.
I mean, that could be like working at a radio station where you're the morning DJ, but you also have to make commercials for the entire station, and they just don't have a lot of people on staff.
Sure.
I'm just saying, there are so many weird things.
Because there's not a coroner on the planet that would say, I don't want to work in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Not me.
Here's the thing. There are some serious issues with what's happening in Hawaii. And are we ever going to find the truth?
No.
Okay.
We're not.
Somebody proved to me this blue roof thing, though.
Yeah.
I want to believe, but I want to see the evidence.
Strange. I can't believe that a laser can't penetrate blue. And then once you start the fire, though, it's out of your control. That you're not going to be able to control that with winds whipping at 80 miles an hour. The thing is not going to just start on roofs, right?
Right.
Unless you've blue-proofed your entire home,
right,
then that's not going to protect you. And even then, it won't protect you from the fire. Fire burns through blue. I'm pretty certain of that. So there was nothing to that.
I want some
that can't be.
NORAD information on was anything flying above Hawaii as the fires were starting. Anything, with, maybe something connected to China, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's the implication, right? That Chinese lasers started this or were responsible for it?
Guess.
Or are they saying American lasers did it? What are they, so that we could turn it into a smart city? There's also something on that. Maybe we'll play that in overtime.
That's fascinating.
There's a woman who discovered some interesting things and reads a lot of stuff from actual websites. She walks us through a theory, and you can see what you think of it yourself when we get to it on overtime. Also coming up in a few minutes, we're going to have the guys from Babylon Bee on. They have a new book out. It's called The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender.
Oh, looking forward to this.
Should be fun. Babylon Bee is really good. And so we'll talk to them about that new book. Remember the shooting at Love Field here in Dallas? It's the alternative airport to DFW. It's their smaller airport. Last summer, there was a shooting at the airport, and the woman indicted in the shooting has been found not guilty by reason of insanity.
How good for her.
Portia Odufua was charged with aggravated assault against a public servant for allegedly shooting toward a police officer.
Yeah, no one was hit.
On watch. Yeah, nobody was hurt in this.
I mean, that doesn't make it.
That doesn't make it okay to start shooting at people?
It doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you're insane.
Yeah.
If you've lost your mind.
There's the video.
Right?
There she is. The cop goes. She's gonna go kill the cop, and then he just takes her down. Says, no, because she's shooting in the air, and then
the guy in the red shirt, looking
red shirt guy. Yeah.
He just walks along the gone his merry way. Yeah, I got a gate to get to, so
no doubt.
I mean, if we could all
missing
be
my flight, bro.
Red shirt guy. Watch the bottom.
He doesn't care.
I mean, she's shooting the ceiling. The cop gets out his gun.
All hell is breaking loose.
The guy in the red shirt.
He does look, though.
Yeah, what's up?
He looks.
I gotta go.
Looks again.
I'm not getting involved with that. I'm out of here. That's awesome.
That is kind of weird.
I do love the red shirt guy.
Yeah, I do too. That's great.
So she's gonna be fine. She's
fine. Yeah, don't worry about it.
No threat or anything.
We'll get her some help, and she'll be back out on the street. It's something to look forward to. That we'll have her back out there with the rest of us.
It'll be fine.
Won't that be great?
And now she'll be back out there with
we don't really have mental hospitals anymore. I'm interested.
No, I think that's part of the problem.
They're going to put her.
That's part of the problem, Jeffy, with our
where
society.
They're going to put them, and I know that the Dallas County Jail is almost full. So they're complaining now that jail is almost. I mean, they're at like 97% capacity.
How can you confirm? Were you at one recently?
I'm just saying it's full. And
no follow-ups.
I mean, either build a new jail or they're just going to start letting people out.
Yeah. And in Dallas, I'm sure they'll just start letting people out. That's what will happen.
Get out of here.
So congratulations on that. Did you see this controversy about the Queen song, Fat Bottom Girls, not being included on a greatest hits collection? I like this article from Clutch Points. Written, of course, you'll see the spin on this.
Oh, no.
Very quickly.
Spin on this, okay.
For anyone who's recently played their kids the 1978 Queen classic Fat Bottom Girls, and then while pondering the lyrics, stop to ask themselves, how is this still okay? Yeah, I wouldn't ask myself that, because it's a song, okay? It's like a lighthearted, funny, feel-good song from 1978. Anyway, he says, we have an answer. Apparently, it's not okay. The legendary rock band's hit song was dropped from the band's new greatest hits collection designed for younger listeners on the audio platform Yodo. That's why I don't think it's that big a deal. This is for kids.
Right.
So that's fine by me, whatever. But he writes, how you feel about the decision probably depends on where you stand on the political spectrum. Outlets from the right, like Fox News, are already vomiting up their favorite buzzwords, woke and cancel culture ad nauseum. But before they get their gender normative panties in a wad,
oh God,
they should try to remember that this is solely for the very niche children's audio device.
Do we now? Does Clutch now care about kids? Is
exactly.
that right?
That's
is that what that's what we're doing here?
That's the irony that's missing with him, because he even mentions that it's for kids, and then he says Republicans should also realize the irony. He doesn't, but they should.
They should, right.
In their faux outrage over a censorship issue when Governor Ron DeSantis' favorite pastime these days is censoring Florida textbooks while badly losing fights to Disney. Okay, that's about children too, moron.
Yeah.
That's about children. He's not censoring books. He's not banning books. He's not banning the word gay. None of those things have happened. But man, they do not recognize themselves
not at
all. It drives me out of my mind. But yeah, Fat Bottom Girls not being on a kid's collection.
Whatever.
Nah, whatever. Whatever. Wouldn't be on my collection. It's not my favorite Queen song of all time.
That's a surprise to me.
Is it? Yeah.
That's a surprise to me.
What is your favorite? What would be your favorite Queen song?
I don't know.
You can't even name a Queen song, can you?
Ooh.
You can't.
I can't name a Queen song. Yeah,
you can't.
Fat Bottom Girl. What are we talking about here?
I take it to heart.
Congratulations.
Speaks to me.
Nicely done.
I mean, it's got to be Bohemian Rhapsody, right? It has to be.
Has to be. Mm-hmm. I suppose. Has to be. Except it's not for me, but it could be.
We Will Rock You.
Could be. No,
another one bites the dust for you.
Killer Queen.
Okay,
is my favorite. Yeah, and then Bohemian Rhapsody's in there somewhere. But let me tell you about the news cycle, the stress that we get from it every day. It's easy to get burned out mentally and physically. Even the top headlines are enough to get your blood pressure going. Not only that, but as we get older, it's even more important to keep our hearts healthy and happy, which you can do with Super Beets Heart Chews. Now, you pair that with a healthy lifestyle. Super Beets Heart Chews polyphenol compound is about 2 times more effective at supporting blood pressure, a healthy blood pressure, than a healthy lifestyle alone. It means more energy, circulation, and blood pressure support that's easy and convenient. They're plant-based, they're gluten-free, there's no pills to swallow, and they just really taste good. I love these. So you could double your potential right now with Super Beets Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews and get 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeets.com. Use the promo code UNLEASHED. That's getsuperbeets.com, promo code UNLEASHED.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
At it again. Yeah, I love it. You gotta love it. Jeez. It doesn't It doesn't matter what people in the community of LGBTQIA2+ do. Doesn't matter what they do. It's okay with him. I think everything they do, if you're one of the alphabet people, then you're okay in George's book, and anything you do is fine, and he'll defend it. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, he's a made man in the alphabet mafia. So I mean, he's all good with it.
86 now. Did you know he's 86? Oh. Wow. He's repeatedly made headlines for questionable takes, like his defense of fellow LGBT activists who exposed their genitals to children at a Seattle Pride parade. A public expression of hope that Marco Rubio would suffer an adverse reaction from a COVID-19 vaccine. And he suggested that immigration and customs enforcement detention centers were comparable to concentration camps. Wow. Okay. Beautiful guy.
George, is that you?
Yeah, that's how he laughs, if you're not aware. In an apparent effort to outdo himself, Takai suggested last week that Republican efforts to protect children from irreversible genital mutilation and hormone treatments called to mind the internment camps for Japanese Americans during World War II and the dark forces that led to the horrors of the Holocaust in Europe. That's despicable. It's just despicable. The actor suggested that upon reflecting on FDR's alleged need to scapegoat 125,000 Japanese Americans, he came to understand what being scapegoated meant. A convenient target for politicians, a way to whip up hate and bigotry to win elections, a place to lay blame where none should lay. Huh. That's fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, and who did all these things? George? Again, your beloved Democrats that you think are all about you and your plight. They're all about the little people, the picked on, the downtrodden. They're not. They're the ones who are keeping you downtrodden.
Right.
They're the ones who continue to tread on you. And they're the ones who sent you and your family. I think he was 4 years old when he wound up in an internment camp.
Wow.
They sent him and his family to an internment camp in World War II, and that's where he lived for, was it, 4 years or something, 5 years. It was a long time.
He's familiar with government housing.
Right, yes he is. Yes he is. And I don't think he loved it exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird. Wow. So these people just continue to stoop to the lowest levels you could possibly imagine, but it's okay with everybody else. Where's the Defamation League on this? The Anti-Defamation League that is continually bashing Republicans if you even bring up Germany for some reason. How dare you? But they can do it every day, all day, and they never get called out on it. It's perfectly fine. You can compare anything you want to the Holocaust if you're on the left. Man, it's agonizing. It really is agonizing. This is an interesting article from the Federalist. 14 cities that have a target of banning meat by 2030.
Insane.
The headline should be 14 cities I'm not living.
Yeah, right.
One of them you go to.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Often.
Oh, man. Really?
Awesome.
Let's see. These major cities have an ambitious target by the year 2030 of zero meat consumption, zero dairy consumption.
Good luck.
3 new clothing items per person per year.
Oh, shut up.
0 private vehicles owned. And 1 short-haul return flight. Less than 1,500 kilometers.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. So what town do you think you go to, Jeffy?
It's got to be Austin.
Yep.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Austin is on the list.
They're on the
Gotta be
list.
Austin.
Do you ever remember going to Austin?
No,
Might you have been there ever?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Austin, Boston, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New Orleans, New York City, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Portland, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and Seattle.
Oh, wow, that's good. There's only
Those
one
are a
city.
good group of cities
I was going to
to
say
be a part
one
of.
city on that list that I have any interest of even going to anyway, and that's Phoenix. Other than that, I don't care. San Francisco, New York.
I care about Houston. I can't believe they're on the list, frankly, except the city proper is, of course, run by Democrats, just like Dallas is and every other major city in America.
I'm surprised Dallas is not on that, except...
I am, too.
That's surprising, because Austin, technically now I don't have to go into Austin anymore. So
these are pawns of the WEF. Good to know.
Yeah, right.
Time to avoid them. Or, you know what, if you're not going to eat meat, you could just eat roadkill. There's a couple...
Isn't roadkill meat?
Well, but
yes.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, at least you wouldn't have to go and produce the meat. You just pick it up off the side of the road, and everybody wins. Like this couple has a new way to live.
I will say there's an example of why I know a business owner that doesn't have a business in Austin anymore and is outside of city of the city of Austin. He's moved completely out of Austin because of things like that. So.
Yeah, this fits into the WEF plainly stated goal back in that 2016 promotional video that by 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
And you'll be happy about it.
You're going to be happy. Yeah.
You'll be happy about it.
You know, who wants to own anything?
And you know what? Even if you're not happy,
tough.
Shut up.
Yeah, tough. That's too bad.
Find a way to get happy.
Don't jump.
No meat consumption. That's just not. No dairy consumption. Only 3 new clothing items per year.
Wonder what you could be eating. Wonder what you could be eating that would be so darn good. Oh, I know bugs.
Yeah, right. That's right. And no private vehicles. I love that. So we're going to be at the mercy of the, mass transit.
Right. And you'll be at the mercy of the, the driverless cars, the autonomous vehicles. They've already cut those back in San Francisco. They gave the go-ahead for all those autonomous vehicles in San Francisco to be on the road 24/7.
Yeah.
They've already caused accidents. They've already stopped working, just dead in the road. Like they're just boulders blocking traffic because the cell phone towers were down.
Yep.
They're just completely dead. And they've blocked emergency vehicles. People have been injured in them. So, and there's also a lot of business going on in them, too, but that's another story.
There is?
But they've... Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's no driver.
All right. So they're obviously doing business.
What else would you do with that driver?
I don't know. Enjoy the scenery?
You are enjoying the scenery, my friend.
Okay. All right. All right. We've got our friends from the Babylon Bee coming up with that new book from the Babylon Bee. We'll talk about that next.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. We are joined this morning by some people we're big fans of. The Babylon Bee's CEO, Seth Dillon, and Joel Berry, the managing editor, right? And you guys have I don't know how new it is. It's been out for a little while, right, this book?
Coming out in October.
Okay, it's not out yet.
Yeah, it's
Oh, wow. So we have
pre-order only
hot off the press copies.
Yeah.
The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender. So I guess the first question is, how many genders are there then?
That's a tough one.
Well, as of the printing of the book.
Yeah, that's the problem. The book is already outdated.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have to add an appendix after this, but it's infinite. It's not really about the gender so much as it is affirming the ideology of self-identification.
Yeah.
And so it can really be anything.
Yeah, it really can. And it's been mind-boggling to me that the left has been so accepting of this. Like, these are the people who were bashing us for years that were science deniers. that we hold to some sort of religiosity or ideology that doesn't exist in science, and here they are telling us that you can't even ascertain how to determine a woman. It's amazing to me what's happened.
Yeah, or telling you that a man can get pregnant. But the thing is, the science goes along with it. Like if you go to healthline.com, it says men can get pregnant. So they have all the scientific resources they need to say that this is part of science now. They just reference, supportive sources.
How did this happen so quickly? Or has it always just been lying in wait and now they're releasing it to us? This insanity.
It's been happening under the surface for a long time, for decades. And if you really wanted to dig into it, you could trace it back to Rousseau and this idea of, the inner self being who we truly are. This Gnostic idea of the body meaning nothing, and it kind of devolved from there. It started percolating in the universities in the 80s and 90s, and it seems like it was sprung on us so quickly. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of the comedy is like that. It happened last week, and we're all supposed to go along with it without arguing or asking questions.
There's that clip, I'm sure you've seen it, where Dennis Prager is on Bill Maher's show, and he's talking about how, the whole tampon issue and how they're putting tampons in boys' restrooms and saying that boys can get their periods and stuff. And Bill Maher and his audience laughed at Dennis. Like it was insane. What are you talking about? No one is saying this stuff. I'm trying to remember what year that was. It was probably like 2018.
Yeah, I think
something
it was
like
that.
Last month.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long ago that even people on the left thought this was wildly insane and would laugh in your face if you brought it to them seriously. And now look where we are.
Yeah, little did they know the foundation had been poured.
Yeah.
I do appreciate this line from their book here. Do you know who keeps the same gender their entire lives? Boring people. That's who. I mean, that's what we're supposed to believe. Like, it's just normal now. It's what a mad world.
It is. It's a fad, and it's really if you look at kind of some of this content on TikTok from Gen Z, it's almost become a sexualization or a fetishization of personality types. I mean, we're talking about personality types here. Evangelicals have the Enneagram, and they like to talk about how they're a 9 wing 3 or whatever. The leftists have their gender, and that's kind of been a theme for the left for a long time. The kind of the sexualization of everything.
It does seem to me when I look at the whole trans women wanting access to the women's restroom, and talking about, they even talk openly sometimes about how aroused they are when they're in the women's restroom.
Yeah.
There's some, it's in a lot of ways, it just seems like an excuse to live out these fetishes. And have it be socially acceptable rather than be something that they're, scorned or condemned for.
Yeah. You guys see this as temporary? Is this something that is fleeting? Do you think that, will people look back on this time period and say, what the hell happened to humanity? or is this permanent?
I hope so. Well, it's internally inconsistent. I think it has to collapse at some point.
I think so too.
The sad thing is, though, it will only collapse after it's done a lot of damage.
Yeah. It's already done a lot of damage and will continue to.
And that's part of what we're doing here is we're trying to, in our own little silly way, stave off the damage by mocking it.
I don't think there's any better way to stave off the damage than by mocking it.
I think it's an effective way of doing it. But to the question of, is this going to stick around? Is it going to stay? We can look at examples in history of these really crazy social experiments that were supposed to be rooted in science. Eugenics is one of them. Lobotomizing people that had, depression or anxiety or whatever. There were or personality disorders. And there were things that scientists were touting as, this is something that is good. We're helping evolution along or something like that. And then people realized at some point they woke up and they realized the horror of what was actually happening. And this is actually resulting in a lot of death and destruction and disarray.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to this stuff getting imposed on kids and kids going into, surgeries and mutilation and whatever, that's where I think a lot of people are going to wake up.
Yeah,
I hope so.
We had a couple of weeks ago a clip from an Irish journalist, and she said that the reason why this gender madness won't go away is because you have so many parents that have sold their own children a bill of goods, and they've written a check that they can't cash, and now their children have been sterilized, mutilated, And now these parents are like Japanese soldiers at the end of World War II. They're going to fight to the death now to continue to push this ideology, or else they look like liars to their children. But I think you're also right in that the only way to defeat not only this, but most of the absurdities on the left is by mocking it. And I think this book does a great job of laying out common sense and showing people in obvious form. Like, I just love the 10 commandments of gender in the middle of the book, you know, with commandments like thou shalt not dead name, thou shalt steal first place in women's sports leagues. And I think this kind of stuff that is going to resonate with the person in middle America that's just like, I want to be left alone. Look how absurd this stuff is. We have to take a stand one way or another, and through humor and mocking it, I think, is the way. And you guys have always done a great job at that through Babylon Bee.
It is effective. One of our most popular headlines ever was the motorcyclist who identifies as a bicyclist and sets a world record.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's got millions of shares.
I think we talked about that.
It resonated with people.
So great.
And what I say all the time is, you know, when people have abandoned reason on purpose and they're no longer living in reality and they're trying to get you to affirm things that are completely irrational, you know, they're saying you got to agree that 2 and 2 make 5.
Yeah.
Trying to reason with them isn't really super helpful when they've jettisoned reason on purpose. Yeah, it's not going to get you anywhere. But you can mock their silliness, the bad ideas,
right?
And that actually gets through to people, I think.
You guys have faced censorship quite a bit. By the way, we're speaking to Seth and Joel from the Babylon Bee. They have this new book, The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender. You guys have faced censorship from fact checkers and big tech and the mainstream media. Tell us about some of the challenges you faced in the last few years.
Oh, well,
because they come for you, don't they?
Where do I begin?
Yeah.
You know, our fact checking is kind of where it started with us. If you go back to 2018, we had a headline about how CNN had purchased an industrial-sized washing machine to spin the news in before publishing. And you know, Facebook.
Was that not true?
It turned out they didn't actually do that. Oh, wow. But we only know that because of Snopes. And
it's
so
amazing.
They started fact checking us, and we started getting these threatening warnings from Facebook that they were going to take our page down and demonetize us if we kept publishing false stories. And we're like, wait a minute, there's a distinction between satire and legitimate like misinformation that's intended to mislead people. And
did they admit to that difference?
They did initially, yes, they did, but they did continue to work with third-party fact checkers who continued to fact check our jokes.
My gosh.
And so we ended up getting dinged a bunch of times with all this false information or whatever. That's kind of where it started. But then, of course, you get into these issues, like the gender issues, and you start getting flagged for hate speech.
Sure.
Because anytime you say you refer to Rachel Levine as a man, you're misgendering. That falls under the hateful conduct policy. So we've had a lot of that happening. That's the reason we got kicked off of Twitter.
Yeah, and you are effectively the reason Elon Musk owns Twitter today.
We have him on recording saying that, but yeah. Kind of in jest, but yes, it factored into his decision in the sense that there's people like the Bee aren't able to speak freely in the public square anymore.
Yeah,
and so something needs to be done about that. And so I think our refusal to delete that, with the situation with Twitter was they told us you have to delete this.
The Rachel Levine tweet.
Yeah, the Rachel Levine tweet where we said we named Rachel Levine. Sorry, we named Rachel Levine Man of the Year in response to USA Today.
Don't forget the ring.
And it's amazing how the left won't see the irony in that. Right?
Yeah.
They'll just get pissed off about it.
Yeah, they just get mad.
They'll call you haters and bigots and all of that stuff. And they don't see the irony.
And the other irony, too, I always laugh about this because we're the writers of the Babylon Bee, we're just these, like, boring Christian guys. You know, we don't cuss. We don't have blue humor. You know, we don't. What we're saying to us doesn't seem edgy or transgressive,
right?
You know, but in today's world, the truth is like the edgiest thing you can say. And so we've gained this kind of this weird reputation that for being these edgy comedians.
We're pushing the boundaries by calling a male person a man.
What is a favorite headline that you've written that you think is the gold standard for you? Does anything stick in your mind?
I have a personal favorite. I don't know if it's our best one, but one of my favorite ones that I did was when the BLM stuff was happening in 2020, and a lot of the NFL teams and NBA teams were kind of virtue signaling and painting their fields. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had just passed away, and I did a headline where LeBron James and the rest of his team wore frilly lace collars with their jerseys to honor Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And
the Photoshop made that one because it looked like they were really wearing these little lacy things.
Yeah, we put these lacy collars on the NBA players. And the funny thing about it for me was that it went viral on the left. It's one of our articles that went viral on the left. It made the rounds in fashion circles in Paris and Cosmopolitan, Elle magazine. The editors
was
in
it
chief
treated seriously?
It was treated seriously. They thought it was real, and they thought it was the most inspiring thing that they had ever seen. And
that is unbelievable.
Yeah, there were a couple of New York Times reporters that shared it on Twitter and thought it was real.
This is the best thing I've seen today. Those kind of takes, and that's when I was kind of like, we're hitting on something. When you're close enough to truth, where people believe that is a feasible thing,
right?
Then we've mentioned many times that it's got to be really tough for you guys because reality is so bizarre now. That how do you make it into satire
so many things
when it's already satirical to begin with?
You guys have said so many things in joke headlines that became our reality.
Right.
Yeah. What do we shared one yesterday that was another one of our, we call them prophecies fulfilled. We published a fake op-ed from a leftist columnist saying that people being able to select their leaders is a threat to democracy. And
how's that real?
And the New York Times just published an op-ed saying elections are a threat to democracy.
Oh my God. It's amazing. All right, we're speaking with Seth Dillon and Joel from the Babylon Bee, and we'll do more in just a second. But first, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. These are professionals who really know what they're doing. They're with buyers and sellers all the time. They know the market. They're successful. They have to be, otherwise they're not going to be part of the Real Estate Agents I Trust. Glenn started this company because he had such a bad experience years ago and didn't want you to go through that too. So that's why we deal with only the best, only the best in the business, the people who are really committed to this, the people with great track records, the people who can see your situation through from beginning to end, whether you're buying or selling or doing both because you're relocating. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Back with the guys from the Babylon Bee, Seth and Joel, and I've wondered often about the process, the process that you guys go through to come up with videos and articles. And is that something you do individually, or do you guys ever get together, either by phone or computer link up to hash these things out? How does it work?
Yeah, so most of our writers are remote. We have writers all over the country.
You don't have a Babylon Bee tower building in New York?
No. We're very kind of grassroots, and that's how all of us have. I started as a fan myself. I was a fan of the Babylon Bee. I just started submitting headlines. Most of our writers started that way as well, and so we have writers that are surgeons, engineers, blue collar guys who are pitching headlines in between shifts or in between things at work. And we have a common kind of chat group. What I'll do is I'm getting up, I'm reading every news site that I can, kind of getting a sense for what the news cycle is that day, what people are going to be talking about, and I'll send out to the writers. Okay, here are a few points. Here are a few things that I think we should touch on. Biden was in Maui and said some really stupid things. We should hit that, and then the rest is fair game. And it's from there. It's just a pitch storm. So we're just a torrent of pitches, and for every 50 to 100 headlines that are pitched, one gets published. So
and that's what it starts with, the headline. It's all the joke is in the headline. You got to nail that down. But then you go and write the articles in response to that. But to your point about like how difficult it is because of how insane the world is.
Yeah.
The way that I put it is, imagine if your job is to write jokes that are funnier than what Democrats are doing in real life, and you've got to every day you got to wake up and that's your job.
Sometimes they catch up to you.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if your job is to write jokes that are funnier than a Kamala Harris speech. I mean, it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy.
Wow. Yeah.
What's next? What do you got? What's in the future for the Babylon Bee?
That's a good question. I don't know. We've been doing a lot of video stuff. Our YouTube channel's blown up over the last year or two. So we're experimenting a lot more in that area. some more sketch comedy,
I'm sure
things
they'll
of
be
that
fine
nature.
with the satire. Don't worry about you.
Yeah.
And by the way, to answer an earlier question, the book may be out of date because on page 9, you guys do list that there are 373 genders, and that may be an undercount at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, we're already above that.
Yeah.
Great book, man.
Is it hardest? I mean, because comedy is always harder when you try to keep it clean. When you don't have the F word at your disposal, and when you don't tackle disgusting subject matter, is it hard as Christians to keep this edgy and different and fun?
It does add an extra challenge, because I think that's something that a lot of comedians resort to when you don't have confidence in a joke. You throw in an F-bomb or an obscenity in there to kind of punch it up a little bit. It's an easy punch up.
Yep.
And when that's not a tool at our disposal, we do have to work a little more hard to make sure that the headline is the best that it can be. So we might start with a first draft headline, and then me and Kyle Mann, our editor-in-chief, and our other editors are kind of workshopping it and tweaking words to make it just so. And I that makes the comedy better. Some of my favorite comedians are clean comedians. Because it does take a lot of skill to be funny without that stuff.
It really does. I'm always impressed with guys like Nate Bargatze and those guys who keep it clean and don't swear every other word on stage, because the really big comedians are usually the ones who do. It just makes things a lot easier.
Life is funny enough. There's so much to be laughed at.
Do you ever get any sort of feedback from Christians about being too critical of the left, or tearing people down and all that kind of stuff? That's what I hear a lot of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's understandable that you would have people, not just Christians, but people who think, mockery isn't the answer, because mockery is mean, mockery is cruel. You're making people feel bad about themselves, and I think if you're familiar with the Babylon Bee, if you read this book, or if you go to our website, you read our website, it's not, the site isn't harsh. It's not intended to be attacking people as individuals and tearing them down and making them feel bad about themselves. We're mocking stuff that deserves to be mocked. And so it's really, it's the ideas really primarily that we're focusing on there. It's ridiculing bad ideas, which I think is a moral imperative, because if we don't do that, then these bad ideas take root and they flourish.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you got gender clinics for kids cutting up their bodies.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to make fun of those things so that we're not taking them seriously. The problem is we took them seriously in the first place.
Yeah, right, and didn't stand up. So looking to the not too distant future, and I should probably go to your website, because you may have already beat me to the punch here, but have you guys already started writing up headlines and stories based on tonight's Republican debate and the return of masks and vaccines and mandates? Because here we are.
Oh, yeah.
I've already seen headlines about another 14 days to stop the spread. Start wearing your masks and stuff. And these headlines. It's 2023. We're still throwing this stuff out there.
What are we doing?
Oh my gosh! I went to your website just to see if you had anything there. I see the story. So great, guys. Following hurricane, California's homeless begin the hard work of re-pooping on all the sidewalks.
That's a great, re-pooping is a great word.
I mean, everybody should mix in the word re-pooping into their life today. Good stuff.
I'm a fan of other people doing that.
That's about as dirty as we get, the word poop. Yeah.
No, I love this. I love this. Accompanied with the picture of Joe Biden sleeping at the memorial for Maui victims, the headline, "Nation starting to suspect Biden actually a terrible person."
I wish that were true.
Boy, this is good stuff, as always.
I don't know that we've touched the debates yet.
We did one yesterday where we suggested Trump do a live stream where he insults the debaters on stage, awesome. Like on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That would be awesome, actually. I think we talked about that at one point.
That would get better ratings than the debate.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
There's no doubt about that.
All right, so where should people go if they want to get more from the Babylon Bee? And when does the book come out, and where do you get it?
Yeah, the book comes out early October. You'll be able to get it at our website a few weeks after release, probably. But if you want to get it day one, we definitely suggest you pre-order it on Amazon. Last couple books that we released, they ran out of books. They were bestsellers and ran out of books after a few weeks. So if you want to get a copy, definitely pre-order on Amazon.
So just so you are aware, it looks like on Amazon it says the book will come out on September 19th. So maybe move.
Do they know something you don't?
Oh, you know what? That's our next book. We have another book coming out in October next year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. This is September. Yeah.
So if you want the
Thanks
Babylon,
for the correction.
Yeah, sure. Babylon Bee Guide to Gender coming out September 19th. Pre-order now.
We love your stuff.
Important detail to get right. Let's get
Pre-order it. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to get it.
Congratulations on your success.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thanks for what you guys do.
Great guys.
Because it helps us. I know that. I can't speak for everybody. I think it helps all of us on the right, but it certainly helps us not to get as crazy, because the headlines every day, we're angry. We start the show at 6. We're angry by about 4:30 a.m. So thanks for what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seth Dillon and Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee. Thanks a lot, guys.
Definitely need the humor in this time, guys.
You
Thank
really
you
do.
very much.
All right. So tomorrow, Jeffy
Debate?
won't be here, so that's something to look forward to.
Wait,
Wow.
Right? Wait. I mean, he'll be here on Friday. That's what we're looking
that's what I'm
forward
talking
to.
See,
about,
this
yeah.
is called a tease. This is to get the audience to come back. And by saying that...
Yeah, so Jeffy won't be here
assures
tomorrow.
us, yeah.
You'll be excited.
Dry
to
your
know.
eyes. It's okay.
And you guys are making the tour, the whole building
yeah,
today, right?
Yeah, we're hitting all the spots.
Okay.
I have a list. They're going to be on with Chad. They're going to be on with Glenn.
Wow.
In about, let's see, an hour if you're listening here live. Also, Sarah Gonzalez, you'll be on the News and Why, I guess. Alex Stein, Stu tomorrow, and Dave Landau.
Wait a minute. No chewing on that list?
No chewing on that
chewing
list.
the fat?
I think you're trying to arrange
I
something,
will
right?
make that happen.
Okay.
Yes, that's going to happen.
This is the most fun you'll have, by the way. I'm sorry. It's all downhill from here.
By far. The rest is pretty much a waste.
We wanted to start at the top and then work our way down.
There you go.
All right. We will see you tomorrow. We've got overtime coming up, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.